What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, NFL DFS video. This is, just like we did last week, we're going to break down the main slate. So what we're going to do is we're going to build lineups. We're going to look at Vegas odds. We're going to look at some trends. We're going to look at our matchup tool. Now, the matchup tool is part of FTA+, and if you've never been to the website, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com is the website on the screen right now. Along with all the other sports that we do, the NFL, we have the matchup tool, which is the bacon station, the volume report that shows all the volumes that everyone's had. If they've touched the ball one time this year, it is in that report. Same thing with snap counts. Same thing with red zone stats, player projections, fantasy points allowed by position, so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do, if you're new to the channel, as of the making of the video, we are 8 subscribers away from 10,000. Can we please get to 10,000 today? These last 11 have been absolutely wildly slow. I don't know why. But I hopefully we can hit it this week. It would be awesome. We have giveaways every single video. So here's an easy way to win. Like this video, be a subscriber, and you have to leave a comment for the comment picker to pick you up. If this video gets at least 50 likes, you have a chance to win a free week of FTA+. That is a week of NFL, MLB, PGA, MMA, NASCAR, NBA once it's back in under a month now, which is wild to think about. So we've got that. If this video gets at least 100 likes, you'll have a chance at a free month of FTA+. 150 likes, a chance at a free $200 year. 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a lifetime pass. So we are going to get started. We are going to have the giveaway from last week's video. Last week's video ended up getting 73 likes with only 14 comments. So if you like the video, leave a comment, because if you don't leave a comment, the comment picker cannot pick you up. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to re-roll it. We're going to start this raffle, and we're going to see who the winner is. It could be someone new, or it could be one of our regulars. Millie Rock 17, congratulations. Please email me dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp1@gmail.com, and we will get you set up for your free week. Let me know. Just put it in the subject line, NFL Weekly winner, and let me know if you have an account on the website. If you do, let me know the username. If you do not have an account on the website, I need an email and a username that you would like, and we will get you set up for that free week. So that's as easy as it is, guys. All you got to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Okay, so as always, these videos are sponsored by Outlier.Bet. If you guys are into betting, you need to check out Outlier. They're just so much better than what, and a lot of you have already tried it. The link is down below. If you guys will go through that, click on our link and sign up. That would be awesome if you could. You're going to get a 7-day free trial regardless. So go through that 7-day free trial. If you like what they have, you can subscribe. If not, that's completely okay. Free is free for 7 days. So if you do like that after 7 days and you subscribe to their $20, so we can just look at the pricing. You go to their $20 a month premium. You go through that, and you sign up using our link and show us proof, we're going to give you a free month of FTA+. Now, they do have a pro package, which this is the best way to make the money, but you get a 7-day free trial to this as well. So when you get your 7 days, you get the pro regardless. Go through that. If you like it and you want to sign up for a month, we are going to give you 3 months free of FTA+, which is a $90 value on top of that as well. So make sure you check out Outlier.Bet. I love the integration between picking your bets or props or whatever bet you're going to do, put it in your slip down below. Then once you have the bets you want, you can click on the book you want. It'll take you straight out to your sports book. You can make that bet right from Outlier. So definitely go check out Outlier.Bet today. So that being said, Vegas odds. We look at the Vegas odds. The main slate. It goes from 12 all the way down to 325. So we've got these games right here. Okay, so you see what the opening was and what the current lines are. If we go to the over-unders here and we look at the highest over-under, and we can. I don't know why it's going so slow, but it is going slow. And you can see, just reading it right now, the Commanders and the Cardinals, 49 over-under, opened at 46, so it's gone up. And the Cardinals have now gone up 1 point to be a 3.5-point favorite right now. I think it's going to be a shootout. Both of these offenses or defenses have given up a ton of offense. We know Kyler Murray is a stud when he has been healthy. Obviously wasn't healthy the last year. He's been putting up some numbers. He's got wide receivers now. He's got a tight end. He's got a running back. He's got all the weapons he needs, and he's starting to run again. You got Jaden Daniels, who's running crazy on the offense or on the defenses. We saw that Monday Night Football. He helped me win $300, which I am very thankful for. That's the best matchup. That's going to be obviously the chalkiest plays, but we're going to build through all of that. What we're going to do is we're going to look at SaberSim, which I don't have a promo code. They're just there. And if you've seen our other baseball videos, we've been using them and we've been winning money. We've been 20 times in our money. That one we had 120, it was $20 in and sold or got 120 out. So whatever that is, 12 times our money. We've been using them. I've got no promo code. I've got no referral link or anything. If you would like to sign up, you can. Or if you think this video is enough for you, that's awesome too. But if you are wanting to sign up for FTA Plus, which is $10 a week, which gets you every sport that we offer, great value. If you want to go $30 for a month, right now, if you sign up for a month pass this weekend, we are going to give you an extra month free. Absolutely free. For everyone who signs up this weekend, you'll sign up. Once I get that notification that you signed up, I'm going to go into your account and I'm going to give you an extra month for free. So $30 for 2 months, which will take us through about week 12 of the NFL. So definitely check that out. If you want to go with a yearly pass because you like us or whatever, and you want to go through everything, instead of $200, if you email me today or this weekend, dfshelp1@gmail.com, that's dfshelp1@gmail.com. Instead of $200, we're going to give it to you for $99. It's only 9 people left. So if you first come, first serve for those 9 people. So let's take a look, see if this is working now. To see the highest over under. Why is it not working? I'm not really sure. Let me pause it real quick and get it working. Whatever. We've got Cardinals at the Commanders as number 1. We've got the Panthers at the Bengals, who are in danger of going 0-4. Andy Dalton's a stud. Red Rocket. Dominated last week. We were all over him, and he did well. You've got the Ravens at the Bills, which is not playable, but we've already broken down the showdown for the Sunday Night Football. So if you guys are into Sunday Night Football and you like to play the showdowns, I will link that video at the end. Go check that out. Another way to win. All you got to do is like the video and leave a comment. Multiple ways to win with NFL because we have so many videos that are out there. It's a small channel. I'm the only one on the website. It is me doing the videos. So if you guys could help me out by just liking the video, clicking on the ads, that helps out way more than you know. Donating, signing up for FTA Plus, all of that works. But clicking on the ads helps a lot. So we've got the Lions, or nope, we don't have the Lions or Seahawks. Texans and Jaguars are 44.5. I mean, it's not the best matchup, but what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we are going to go through our matchup tool and we are going to build some lineups. And that's what we're going to do right now. So checking this out. This is the matchup tool for the quarterbacks. Now, this is going to be on the other screen. If you want to see it all, this is all done by hand. You can see the defenses. So this is the defense you want to target. You can see the yards they've given up, the touchdowns to the quarterbacks, the rushing yards and touchdowns of the quarterbacks, the DraftKings fantasy points, and the FanDuel points. Also the rankings against them. So all of this is there. Depending if you're playing FanDuel or DraftKings, you can sort it by however you want. And it is a little bit different because the scoring's different. So for this video, we're going to break down DraftKings, but you guys can use this for FanDuel as well. Just if I did both of the websites, it would be a little bit different. If you guys want me to do maybe every other week, I do one FanDuel, one DraftKings, let me know that as well. So you can see, according to the matchup tool, Jaden Daniels is the number 1 quarterback on the week. Number 2 would be Justin Fields. 3 is Stroud, 4 is Geno Smith, and 5 is Kyler Murray. Now, we're going to look at these, and we are going to build off of that as well. So we've got the rankings for each position, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and defense for season long here if you guys want to check that out. So FantasyTeamAdvisors.com is the website. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring in SaberSim. Now, if you've never used SaberSim, it's a pretty awesome tool. Doing it by hand is easier, but you can check this out. So I'm not sponsored by SaberSim. If you want, so the only sponsor we have is Outlier, and that is for sports betting. SaberSim is for DFS. If you've never played, I know a lot of people got screwed over by, we're not going to say their name, FC. A lot of people. So let's go through it. So we're going to use the matchup tool. We're going to build through it. Then we're going to build lineups through it. And what I love about them is they have a contest simulator. So depending on what you want, so we're going to be using this contest just for the video. Dollar entry, 20 max, $175,000 first down. That is what we're going to use. Okay? So we're going to build through here. So looking at the matchup tool, Jaden Daniels on paper throughout everything has the best matchup of all quarterbacks according to the matchup tool, according to the defenses that have given up the most amount of fantasy points this season through the first 3 weeks. So what we're going to do is we're going to come through here, and I'm going to just bump him up to 25 because I want the optimizer. It does its own thing, but I want to put a little input of mine as well building through. So, and then towards the end of this video, we have if you do sports betting, we're going to do a couple of the sports bets that we like. There's a handful of players that have scored a touchdown in every single week this year, and we're going to show them in the trend that they are. Maybe we'll even go out to DraftKings and just made it a massive parlay just to see what it would be like. Again, that's going to be towards the end of the video. So if you guys do both of them, sports betting and DFS, I implore you to stick around. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but hopefully we can help you bring home the bacon this weekend. So Jaden Daniels is number one. Let's say he goes up big. Big on this one. Arizona's got to play from behind. Obviously, Kyler Murray is going to be tossing that ball as well. So we're going to put him at 25. Let's put 25.1 and 25. I just want them in there together. You can see the value that they have, the ownerships that they have, everything like that. So those are the top two. Just because, again, if you stack like Jaden with Terry McLaurin, you've got to bring it back with someone, most likely Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey Bride, James McConnor, whatever it is, if you're doing a full game stack. And if Vegas is right, which they're normally not wrong, this could be a high-scoring game. Okay? So, in theory, Justin Fields is up next in this game. So, if you come down, let's just go to quarterbacks. We'll just go through quarterbacks. Justin Fields at 17.8 or 17.61. He's only 5,500 compared to 6,500 and 6,800. So he's a little bit cheaper, and you can see the other higher guys are there as well. So Justin Fields. And if you want to see what Justin Fields has done just this year so far, not even expected to be the starter. 11.9 for 11.38, 19.4. So he's gone up against that defense. The Colts defense, if you look at the matchup, they ranked 21st out of 32 against the pass. They rank dead last against the run, and Justin Fields is a running quarterback. They rank overall points allowed per game 14. So looking at that, a great matchup for him. Under-owned, not a lot of people talking about him. So I'm going to give Justin Fields a bump up here. I'm going to put him at 20. Because he can do it with his legs as well, but he is also there to pass the ball off a little bit. So C.J. Stroud against Jacksonville. Jacksonville is a very bad defense. We saw what Josh Allen was able to do on last week. Wasn't ideal for Jacksonville. They looked absolutely trashy. Quarterback and defense. C.J. Stroud should be able to run all over them and throw all over them as well. I love this as a 22. I'm going to bump that up a little bit. I want to get him a little bit above Joe Burrow. A sneaky one that people also aren't talking about, Geno Smith. So, and is this game even in this matchup here? It might not be. Let me see. Seahawks. Nope, that's tomorrow. So Kyler's there. Patrick Mahomes, we cannot play. So this is why, this matchup tool's the entire week, not just broken down by slates. So that's why it's a little bit different. Okay. Nope. Then Malik Willis or Jordan Love. Now, is Jordan Love playing is the question. So we look at this. The Minnesota Vikings have given up. They're ranked 26 out of 32 against the quarterback, which could be Jordan Love. So if we look at him quarterback-wise, he is questionable, and he's questionable. Limited participant in each practice this week, and now heads in the weekend, looking truly questionable. But again, we can look at this. Jordan Love, okay, or Malik Willis would be another one that we'd look at. So you look at him, game log-wise, did really well against his former team. Slaughtered them. If he is in there, he's 5,300. He's a little bit up there. So again, this might be a game time decision, but we're going to give a little bump to Malik Willis as well, just in case. So we don't know if he's going to be playing. If he is in fact playing, that is when we'll know. So if he's out, obviously it gets the bump up to Jordan Love. So depending on where you're going, like there's a lot of CJ Stroud, the Joe Burrow at Carolina. So if we look at Carolina here, we look at the Panthers Bengals. They have the second highest over-under according to this, and the Panthers are technically a 4.5 point underdog. Andy Dalton, who absolutely smashed last week for a very cheap option at 4,800. They put him up to 5,300, but he gets my bump here too. So we're going to bump up Joe Burrow because they think he's going to be up big. So we'll go there. And then we are going to bring down, we're going to look at Andy Dalton, who's projected right now 15 point. Let's go 19. So we're just going to put him up there. Again, these are just early projections. And these are not the only projections, but we are breaking down using the matchup tool. And if you've seen the matchup tool we have, if there are teams that, run only one running back, they are on there. If there are teams that run like 3 or 4 running backs, we have them on there as well. Like the Browns, Jerome Ford, Deontay Foreman, Pierre Strong. Or for instance, the Cardinals, James Conner, DeMarcado, or Trey Benson. All of them are there as well. So if there are certain teams that run the hell out of the ball, they are on this matchup tool. Same thing with wide receivers. We have, how many wide receivers on this matchup tool? We have 100 wide receivers on the matchup tool. Running backs, we have, certain teams have 2, certain teams only have 1. 69, nice. And then tight ends have been just a shit show basically all year. 48. So we've got a ton on there that we can talk about. So if there are other quarterbacks you like in this week, let us know ones you're targeting. And make sure you join the Discord because we talk about all this. We're going to give core plays out there. We're going to give it all. So, Sam Darnold, is he 100%? We'll see. Caleb Williams, I don't know if I like him, even though the Rams have given up a ton of fantasy points this year. The Rams rank 18th Bears. They rank 10th, so they've actually been pretty good against the quarterback. So this is just a slight bump to quarterbacks. A lot of different things can happen. Certain different ones, like, Patrick Mahomes could feast against this Chargers defense that it just depends. So we're going to put Patrick Mahomes at 21. And then ones we don't want. I want nothing to do with Jacoby Brissett. He's looked absolutely trashy. If Stafford is somehow playing from behind, his projections have been wild. Derek Carr against Atlanta, I could put him up at 15. So it just depends on which ones you want here for your quarterbacks. I know Deshaun Watson has a good matchup here against the Raiders because Max Crosby is out. So we'll put him at 18, even though he's a trash human being. So now we'll move to the running backs. So if we move to the running backs, the Arizona Cardinals, yet again, rank dead last against both the quarterback and the running back. So that is a plus for Jaden Daniels, running it himself or handing it off to Brian Robinson. Now, we can look at the running back situation. I believe Eckler has a boo-boo on his head, a.k.a. a concussion. So Eckler is out. McNichols is here. He's not the one I'd be looking at. Robinson Jr. is the one I'd be looking at. 10.7, had a down game against Cincy, but they were up there, and Jaden McDaniels was running all over the place. So we are going to give a boost right here to, looking at this, we're going to give a boost to Brian Robinson and put him at 17. So that'll move him up the list a little bit. 2 is the Colts. The Colts give up the second most amount of fantasy points, 0.2 behind Arizona. So Najee, Jalen Warren, and Cordarrelle Patterson. Now I believe Jalen Warren is now out. I believe I got that notification yesterday. So we can look at this. Jalen Warren is out. So Najee, Cordarrelle Patterson, not much. I would look at Najee here. So last week, 13.6, his best week. He had 70 yards there. He's had 70, and 69, but last week he got 5 of 5 targets for 16 yards. So he is in the passing game as well. The Colts defense has not been the best. So we are going to bump up Najee Harris. We're going to bump him up to 17. I think Breece Hall is probably one of my favorite plays of the day. Overall, that Denver defense, I don't trust them. So if you look at Denver's defense, Denver against the run, or Jets against the run. So Breece Hall, they rank second against passing, 22nd against the run, 6th against points over. I'm taking the points here. He's dominated double digits every time, almost 20 back all 3 weeks. He's been dominant. Braylon Allen also he's been there. Not so much against New England, but he has been there in this matchup too. So Breece Hall does get a boost for me as well. If we look at this, Texans are the third most because the Jaguars give up 17.4. They rank 30th. So then we go to running back and we can search this out, which this is what we love. We look at the Texans running backs. Now Mixon is questionable. Now I don't know if he's been ruled out yet. So let's take a look. Mixon is questionable. Listen is questionable. Mixon looked good in his return to practice. Had a solid day of work Friday. Most likely he's back. But let's say he hurts himself and then he is out. Then it's Cam Akers again. But I'm going to give a boost to Joe Mixon. We're going to go up to 15 for Joe Mixon. Okay? So we're going to get out of there. Then the next one is the Seahawks. Because the Lions, or we can't play this one, can we? Detroit. Nope. Okay. Cardinals. Cardinals are next. James Conner. So, Washington overall. And we can look at this. James Conner, Trey Benson. It's James Conner who you're using. So we look at this matchup for him. And we look at Arizona. James Conner here, 65.5. Or 6,500. Game logs. He did not have a very good game against Detroit for whatever reason. I don't know why. The Lions were just way better against the run. So you look at the matchup here. The Washington Commanders give up 30. They're ranked 31st against the quarterback. They're ranked 18th against the rushing. They've given up an average of 121.7 rushing yards per game. Absolutely love James Conner in this situation. So we're going to bump up James Conner to 18. And we're going to look at that. This is a game I think you need to target. I think you need to target both sides. Make multiple different lineups targeting both sides of this game here. And then if we look at the other one, Packers, just depending, we could look at the Packers as Josh Jacobs or Emmanuel Wilson. So if we go here, we bring it up to Packers running backs. Josh Jacobs is here. 43 yards last week, didn't do much, but the first 2 weeks he did well. The second week, 151 yards. Now, Minnesota, matchup-wise, they do rank second against the rush. So, overall, not the best, but we're going to do what we can. So, I'm going to bump up Jacobs just a little bit, not a ton. I'm going to put him 18.5. So, I'm giving him a little boost, but that's basically it for this one. And then you can look at the other ones. Bijan, if you think he's going to do good against New Orleans, but New Orleans offense, I'm probably going to bring Bijan down to about 17. New Orleans, if you just look at their you look at this, they rank 8th. They're only giving up 99.3 yards, rushing yards per game. The way that they bumped up the pricing, like DraftKings basically priced us out of some of these plays. Like, I love Saquon Barkley, but you're needing like 2.5 times value here. So we're needing probably Barkley 20 fantasy points out of him against Tampa Bay. Now, this is what I don't like, because if you look at the matchup here, I don't know what this means, because it shows 30th, so people in your mind, you're just picking it because it's green. So 30th, they're 30th in what? 24th against the pass, 25th against rushing, and 28th against total yards per game, 16th against points allowed per game. Like, I don't know what the 30 means. If you guys know, let me know. But Saquon's absolutely shoved 2 of the 3 games, he's gotten the points, 36 week 1, 36 week 2. He obviously is a stud. He's going to be highly owned. So if you're playing cash, he makes sense. I'm going to put him at 20. He's going to go the second most right now. Makes a lot of sense. Okay? So let's move to wide receivers. Now, again, you guys can use all of this information. You can use SaberSim. If you have not signed up, you guys can sign up for 5-day free trial for this week if you want. So we look at this. Washington gives up the most amount of fantasy points to the opposing wide receivers. They give up an average of 42.4 fantasy points. If put that in perspective, the Eagles are 31st out of 32, and they give up 35.9. So there's a huge difference there. So that is why I like this to be a shootout. We're looking at wide receivers. Marvin Harrison Jr. might be the top option here. I might put him at 22. Now, if we look at wide receivers, he is questionable, okay? And we look at his price. He's not questionable, and they moved it. No injury designation, so he's good to go. Game logs, obviously had 64 yards last week with a touchdown, 2 touchdowns against the Rams. Has the best matchup here. He's going to be highly owned, but if you're taking Kyler, we've got to take Marvin Harrison. So Marvin Harrison gets a boost. So that also brings in kind of a second questionable, like, what are we doing here? Are we going to look at Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch? Is that what we're going to look at too? So if we look into here and we look at the wide receivers for Arizona, you got Marvin Harrison, number 1, obviously. Greg Dortch is here. Hasn't really done much since week 1. 35 yards, 11 yards, 47 yards. Rushed once, okay. Michael Wilson's another one. Game log wise, had his best week last week against Detroit. This is one where if you want to go Kyler, and you know that a lot of people are going to be on this game, pivot. You could pivot to Michael Wilson at 4,200. 4,200 compared to 7,500. You're going to save. Or if you're one of those that like to super stack, you could take Harrison and Wilson along with Kyler if you think it's going to be a monster game, which is completely fine. Don't know if it's going to take this down, this tournament down, but it is a great starting point if you make multiple lineups. So we're going to bump up Michael Wilson as well. We're going to bump him up to 14. I know this is a long video, but this is where we're at, the player pool that you guys are looking for. So if you like these kind of videos, let us know. Just tell me you like them. Tell me what you would like to see in these videos overall. So that being said, the second one is Tampa Bay, because the Eagles give up the second most amount of fantasy points to the wide receivers. So we're looking at the Tampa Bay Bucks. There's some rain, so that's a little bit of concern. We got Godwin and Evans. Godwin is absolutely dominating first couple of weeks. I think a lot of people are going to be on Evans. We are going to boost up Chris Godwin. We're going to boost him up to 18. We're going to boost Mike Evans up to 15. So we're going to we want that algorithm. We want it to spit these guys out and use them. So you've got the Chiefs next game. So the Chiefs are here. Rashee Rice obviously is number 1. I don't think it's a surprise. Rashee Rice is number 1. We can look at Kansas City as a Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, who hasn't done as much since week 1. You can kind of see week 1 was his big week. We'll see. But Rashee Rice makes a lot of sense. But then everyone's going to be on Rashee Rice, so Worthy makes sense for no reason that he would come out. Because, again, the way that Kansas City's built, they throw it all the time. It could be they could pick a guy right now, and that could be it. So I'm gonna bump up both of the wide receivers there. Next one is the Texans. So Houston Texans are the going up against Jacksonville. Jacksonville gives up an average of 33.2 fantasy points per game, which is 29th out of 32. So Tank Dell is out. He is out of there. So it's Nico and Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs has not been the guy, and he's probably going to get pissed and probably going to throw a tantrum yet again. That's why he's a locker room cancer, most likely. You can see the difference. Nico Collins, 7,200. Stephon Diggs, you look at him, a great game against Minnesota, 94 yards in that game, 19.92. You got Nico Collins in this one. Game log-wise, first 2 weeks were great. Last week didn't do much because it flip-flopped. I think it goes back to Nico Collins here. I think Nico gets a boost up to 20. Okay? And then we are looking at the fifth one. We are going to look at Green Bay because Minnesota gives up 31.2 fantasy points per game. They rank 27th out of 32. So then we come to here. We go Green Bay, Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, blah, 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 all the way down. Jaden Reed, game log wise, first week was obviously the best week against Philly, 138 yards. He has not shown that potential here. If it's Jordan Love, I will give him a bigger boost here. So we're kind of waiting to see. I like this a little bit more if it is Jordan Love, but I'm going to give him a little bit of boost to 13. We can then look at like Romeo Dobbs, who hasn't really done much at all. I'm probably off of him. It's probably Jaden Reed or bust for me in this one, and that's probably where we're at. Then we're going to go to the tight ends. So looking at the tight ends, and again, you can see all of these on the matchup tool. According to the matchup tool, and it's very close because tight ends have been trash this year. You know, Trey McBride is out. I didn't even see that. Okay, so that does open up value here for Arizona. Opens up huge value. So Trey McBride's the most expensive tight end, and he is out. So then Arizona bumps up to Elijah Higgins at 3,100. He's going to be the chalkiest play ever. It's pretty much a free square in this game. Pretty much a free square to use Elijah Higgins at 3,100 allows you to go different places there. So just so you know, that'd be where I'd probably go. Be very cheap. But we look at this. Bengals give up the most amount of fantasy points through 3 weeks against the tight end. They give up 13.7, which would bring us to the Panthers. So we look at Carolina. We look at the tight end for Carolina. Tommy Tremble. Hasn't been doing much. Last week, 29 yards, 23 yards. Has the best matchup here. So we can give a boost to Tommy Tremble. And you're going to come down here. And we're going to find him all the way down here at 6. So I'm going to put him at 9. Okay, we're going to give a boost there. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has the second best match, or the Eagles have the second best matchup. So Dallas Goedert. Tampa Bay gives up 13.2 fantasy points per game on DraftKings and 10.2 on FanDuel. So that brings us Dallas Goedert, who obviously had a great game last week. So we'll just bump him up a little bit. Because, again, it will really depend. And with Devontae Smith being out already, we could see the same thing. It will really depend. Goddard will get even more boost if A.J. Brown is out. I don't know if Brown is out. Let's see. A.J. Brown questionable. Yeah, it could be a game time decision. Luckily, it is a 12 Central kickoff, so we're pretty good there. If A.J. Brown is out, Dallas Goedert is probably number 1 tight end this week. Third one, Houston gives up 12.2 fantasy points per game, which is the Jaguars, which would be Brenton Strange, which, it's okay. So we look at that. Brenton Strange here, game log wise, almost double digits. Had a touchdown last week against Buffalo. It was, garbage time touchdown, but still a touchdown. They have bumped him up to 3,100, but he is also in that range. So if you're looking at a range here, you could bump up. I don't really want to bump up a ton of tight ends because I don't love it. Bowers obviously makes a lot of sense. Kelsey, I honestly don't know what's going on with Kelsey. I would bump up Zach Ertz to, let's say, 13 against his former team. Elijah Higgins at 12 because he's probably going to be the chalkiest chalk of all chalk. And we'll go with that. So that is just the initial breakdown. That is getting there. Now let's do some settings. So I'm going to do, what I love is you can do 5,000 lineups here. I'm going to do optimizer or sim. It really just depends. But you can sim it, you can correlate it, or diversity. So if you want to, high diversity, different lineups, you could look at that. Let's put it at 6. And correlation, let's put the correlation at 8. Entry limit 20 max. And then this one here has 200,000 people. So when we build it out, we're going to go over 50,000. And we're going to contest simulation, add simulation. We're going to go to the 175,000 20 entry. We're going to save settings. We're going to build lineups. So I'm going to pause the video while it builds the lineups, and then I'll be back after 5,000 are done, and I will show you contest simulations as well. Okay, so it has built lineups, 5,000 lineups, and what I like is you can see it likes a Cardinals stack, big time, number one. So you can see it's got the stack QB 3+3 and 1. So you've got 3 there, and then you got Robinson Jr. So it's stacking the Cardinals Washington game. It's bringing it back with one Washington guy. So we're going to run the contest simulations, and this is going to enter the lineup. So you can see it's got like the projected score, ownership, blah, blah, blah. But then it's going to give you a projected return on investment for this particular tournament, GPP tournament. So once it is done, it'll pop up right here, and we will see which lineups are the best. So then this is just a way to build. This is just one way to like break down a kind of break down the lineups, break down building DFS, the main slate. Again, we have sample lineups for you guys on the website on the cheat sheet. We have main slate for FanDuel and DraftKings. We have showdown cheat sheets. We've got it all there. So looking at this, you can see this lineup right here. Simulation return on investment 110%. Risk adjusted return on investment 243.9. So they think this is going to be the winning lineup, or that is what is projected. Now, if we look at this, all of the plays that we have bumped up, we were able to get them in this lineup. Kyler Murray, stack him with Michael Wilson, because I think a lot of people are going to be on Marvin Harrison, but we've also got him in there. And then I think that free square of Elijah Higgins, he's in there as well. So it is all in on a Kyler Murray and Arizona stack. We're going to bring it back with Brian Robinson in that same game. We are going to take Chris Godwin, who's one of our favorite wide receivers against Philly, who gives up a ton of points. Najee Harris against Indy, because Indy gives up a ton of points on the ground as well, and they are already without Jalen. And then we got the Bucs defense against Philly, because Jalen Hurts has been turning over the ball, has not looked as sharp. This is a really good lineup. I don't mind this lineup. This is a great starting point. One lineup built. You can come down here, and then you can see. You've got Jalen Daniels, stacked it with McLaren, Ertz, and Robinson Jr., so giving you both of that. So you can see 239.7. Actually, you can look at this. This has just showing you the different positions, return on investment 357. I love that. This one has 239. You've got Chuba Hubbard. You got the Panthers defense against Cincy, which not 100% on, but we're okay. Again, pretty much you are kind of just throwing out the defense and just kind of punting it. You got Harrison and Wilson, so it's a full stack there. I don't mind this lineup either. Then you can come through another Kyler if you want, or you can go through here, and if there's another quarterback you like. So I think CJ Stroud has a good shot here. So if you want CJ Stroud and you want to check his lineup out here, you can look at CJ Stroud at the top. You've got CJ Stroud, and we've got him paired with Nico Collins. We have Elijah Higgins there. We have the Bears defense, which is a punt. You got Marvin Harrison. You've got Godwin, Harris, Hubbard, Ertz. We've got it all there. So I don't mind these lineups at all. These are great starting points. This is again, sign up, do what we just did. It is not too bad building with SaberSim. So let's say we're out on CJ Stroud, and you want to go with, for instance, Justin Fields. Throw that at Indy, because Indy's so bad. You've got Fields thrown to Pickens. There's your stack there. You got Najee Harris as well, because it's a great matchup for him. Falcons defense against Derek Carr, we'll see. We'll see how that is. Marvin Harrison is in there. Michael Wilson is in there. Brian Robinson is in there. Justin Jefferson is in there. Zach Ertz is in there. I don't mind this lineup either. There's a ton of great lineups that this is built. So that's a Justin Fields lineup. And then finally, if we are trying to look in this position, depending on where you're at, let's go Red Rifle. Let's go Andy Dalton against Cincy. Andy Dalton with Hubbard and Deontay Johnson, who had a monster week. Tommy Trimble, who has the best matchup of all tight ends, according to the matchup tool. You got a Texans defense against Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence has looked trashy. I don't know if Mac Jones is going to be in there. We'll see. You got Godwin. You got Harrison Jr. You got Kyron Williams against Chicago's defense. Najee Harris is also in there as well. I like all of these lineups. We're going to use these lineups. I'm going to put these in to this matchup, to this here. And you guys can do the same. And we can split. Let's run a train of lineups in this $175,000 first down on DraftKings. Let's bring home the bacon together. So that is the breakdown. Just my mind, that's how I break these slates down. If you guys like the video, if it's informative and it's got a lot of information for you, that's awesome. And that's what we want to do. We want to make you a better DFS player. If you want to help us out by donating, by signing up, by clicking on the ads, that helps us out as well. So now what we're going to do, since we're done with that, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to bring up DraftKings Sportsbook, and then I'm going to show you the trends of NFL touchdowns the first 3 weeks. So give me probably going to be 5 minutes my time, 3 seconds your time. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to build this out, and this is these are NFL touchdown streaks. So all of these have been the first 3 weeks of the year. So we're going to just show you if we were to, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 on this list. And we're going to go through, and I'm just going to build it like one big parlay, and you can see the odds. You can also obviously do 1, do 3, do 5, whatever. It doesn't make a lot of sense to, you're not going to win a 9-game parlay 9 times out of 10, no matter how many DraftKings ads or posts you see on Instagram, Facebook, and stuff showing this guy won 117,000. You're not going to. But these are some of the good odds. Obviously, they make a lot of sense if you use the matchup tool as well. So these are all of the players that have a streak of touchdowns. So Justin Jefferson is number 1. So we're going to go into here, and we're going to look at just touchdown scores. And there are different boosts for you if you're not aware. And if you have not signed up to DraftKings Sportsbook, I'm going to have a link down below for you guys to sign up. If you want to sign up, I think they match you up to $250. And if you do that, we're going to give you a month free of FTA Plus and sports betting as well. So we look at the touchdown scores. We go through. You can see Justin Jefferson is at minus 115. So Vegas thinks he's going to score, which he's got a good odd too because he has 3 straight weeks. Okay. So then we are going to go to the next one, where the next one is David Montgomery. So we're going to go through and find Detroit. So it is on Monday. Again, so you have to wait a little bit. You go to touchdown scores. You go David Montgomery is at minus 150. Jahmyr Gibbs can steal some from him as well. So Charbonnet is actually there as well at plus 105, but I just got notification that Kenneth Walker is going to be back. So in that instance, maybe we'll keep away from that one just in case, because Charbonnet has 3 for 3 and he could get it again. So maybe he gets it again. But for this instance, we're going to leave them off. So we've actually got 8 to go over. So there's 2 right there. So the third one is Breece Hall. So we look at Breece Hall. We look at the Jets. I don't know if I went past it or not. There it is. So we look at Jets. We look at touchdown scores. Breece Hall is minus 145. So these are all good odds. Obviously, you can parlay them if you want. I completely get that. Next one up is going to be Chris Godwin. We love Chris Godwin. We love him more than Mike Evans. So if we look at the difference between them, Godwin is here at plus 195, where Mike Evans is plus 140. I'm taking the odds at plus 195. I think Saquon can also score there. So if you want to add that as a same game parlay, I'm completely okay with that. Or if A.J. Brown is out, Dallas Goedert is in a sneaky spot too. But 195 is not too bad there. Then we move to the Raiders. Okay. They're without some of their really good players defensive-wise. Max Crosby, I believe, is out. And we can look at that. So we've got the Raiders. We got touchdown scores. Now, again, the Browns are a really good defense. So if we look at the Browns' defense against the run, Cleveland ranks 9th. They only give up 11.1 fantasy points per game. Alexander Mattison, though, he has scored 3 out of 3 games. Touchdown scorer here, He's at plus 205, so you could add that to your parlay or one-off or however you're building it. You can do that. Another one, did forget to mention, is Jalen Naylor for Minnesota. So again, if you want to do a same-game parlay, did I miss it? Oh, they're the first game. Minnesota. Jalen Naylor's down here at 285, so you could use him as well. He's scored 3 out of 3 games. The next one is actually Sunday Night Football, and I think you guys already know who it is. You should. King Henry. Henry has scored 1+ touchdown in all 3 games. Touchdown scorer here. He had 2 last week. He's a minus 150. And then we've got Kyren Williams. So the Rams, we're going to look at Kyren Williams. Touchdown scorer. Probably number 1. Yep. Minus 145. So we have a 7-pick parlay, which is $13,240 if you were to take all of them, or those 7. $5 on it, you can win $667. $1 on it, $133. You can do whatever you want. Those, or you can round robin it or bonus it as well. So if you look at that NFL's TD score max $20, so 7 legs will put it up to 100%. So this is going to go up to what, 26, 23. So $1 puts it up to 232. $5 puts it up to 1,000. Those are just some of the boosts that they have. And again, you don't have to do 7 legs. I completely understand that's ridiculous. You can do 3. You can do 4. You can do whatever. You can change it up to Kyren Williams. I don't know if DraftKings does it. Kyren Williams to score a touchdown and the Rams to win, or is that only FanDuel? Or I really like, you can see either or score a touchdown. Colby Parkinson or DJ Moore. Kyren Williams or Colby Parkinson, minus 235, whereas Kyren Williams is minus 145. So obviously you do, you get a little bit different there. So just either or touchdowns. Let's see. Or combined touchdowns, which those are sucker bets. You've got all these other ones. So yeah, you could just, there's different ways. Kyren Williams, Derrick Henry, Alex Madison, Chris Godwin, Breece Hall, David Montgomery, Justin Jefferson. Just some of them. These are not the only bets we have. We'll have other bets on the site too. Under NFL tab, we've got NFL prop bets there as well. So that is what we've got in the video. We've talked about and touched on the main slate for DraftKings. You can also use them for FanDuel. Again, if you want to use the matchup tool, you can use it. It's part of FTA Plus. $10 for the week will get you it all. It breaks it down. I do this by hand, so it takes a while. So this is all broken down. If anyone knows how to aggregate and get it to fill itself, and I don't have to do it by hand every week, I'll give you the NFL season for free. If anyone is out there that knows it, if you do know it, email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. Let's see who's still listening. Again, if you are still here, let's get to at least 50 likes. I know we can do it. So that's what I've got. Hopefully you guys had a great time. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully we broke it down enough for you. If there are certain things you want to see, let us know that as well. So that is what I've got for week 4. We will be back. I'm already starting on the matchup tool for week 5. We have 4 teams on a bye. So we've got 28 teams, 14 games. We've got 4 teams off this week. Already we're hitting the bye week, so can't believe we'll be almost into 5 weeks of NFL already. So yeah, we've got it here. Should be good to go. So that's what I've got in this video. Good luck this week. Any questions, comments, concerns, get those down below or Discord. Let's bring up some bacon. Peace.